Hey guys, it's Fusion What Ifs here, and today I'm going to be doing What If Deku had Minato's Power / Reincarnation, part 5, I'm pretty sure. I need to say a few things. One, if I didn't do the sports festival, that doesn't really matter, I'm not going to do it, because one, I'm too lazy to, and two, I already recorded another video on, the internships and the final exams. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue off from there. If you guys want to know, Deku won. Still gives the same speech to Todoroki, and yeah, Todoroki doesn't. So it's Deku first, Bakugo second, and Who was it again? Yeah, Tokiyami third. So yeah. Also, I'm sorry that I said the USJ. It was supposed to be. It's just the training camp. So yeah. Now that that's done, I really have nothing else to say. So without further ado, play my intro. That's it. Let's get straight into the video. We start off with Deku and Melissa walking to school, and yeah, Aizawa explains the training camp, and they all go on to the bus, right? When they're on the bus, Deku places a flying margin mark just in case anything happens, and yeah. They stop midway. I thought I them get off the bus, and so where they meet the Wild Rock Pussycats. I'm pretty sure her name was Rago. No. Yeah, Pixie Bob, right? Yeah, Pixie Bob. So Pixie Bob's is that? I don't know. The one with the quirk to manipulate like earth tremors or something like that. He slams her hand on the ground and the ground starts to quake. So they all fall down and everyone's confused, and I'm gonna say that like Momo's trying to like get a team so that they can all go together, and Deku's like, sorry guys, but I don't really feel like doing that. So, he grabs Melissa like bridal style, then he flying ridens all the way to the bus, and this is where they sit down and start talking a bit. The teachers don't notice until they finally get there. They get off, and so does Momo. I mean, dang it, I was just recording one of Deku had overhaul, so yeah, that's what Melissa and Deku get off the bus. They're like, huh? How do you guys get on? And then Aizawa was like, flying Raijin. And then he was like, yeah. And he's like, makes sense. So, the Pixie Blobs are still confused. And Aizawa says, there's just something that he knows. Well, let's do this. So, they cook dinner, and it's nothing too special. Deku meets Koda earlier on, and Koda's still depressed about his parents, but Deku tells Koda that's gonna be okay, and that his parents loved him, and that heroes aren't too bad. So Koda opens up a bit to Deku, and he got all of this from Minato, because Minato died as soon as like Naruto was born. So yeah, this is him talking as a parent. Koda cries a bit. He opens up to Deku, and they talk. 2 hours later, was it 2 hours? 3 hours? How many hours later, as in the original canon, they come in, they see Deku, and they're like, Deku, why didn't you take? Izuku, why didn't you take us with you? And he's like, didn't really feel like it. Sorry, I stuttered. He's like, didn't really feel like it. And they all just sweat drop, and they're like, really? And he's like, you guys could have gone back up too. Like, easy. But you could have used Dark Shadows to climb the wall. Momo could have like made some, what are they called? Those things that hikers use to climb up ice mountains to get up. Haku could have used like explosions to get up. Todoroki could have used his fire to propel himself all the way up. So far and so forth. Everyone's like, damn, we really are idiots. And he's like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you guys could have used your quirk and gotten up there easier. And he's like, so what's the difference? And then Deku's like, sorry guys. So they all eat. Class 1B comes in later. Monomaso has that problem. So he challenges Deku to a fight. Deku accepts, and this is where Deku completely bodies Monoma. Deku doesn't even fight. He literally just sends a shadow clone to body Monoma. So yeah, Monoma loses this battle very badly to a clone. So yeah, Monoma's like, this ain't fair. You have a better quirk than I do, and he's like, dude, you lost to a clone. And then he's like, what? And then Deku appears behind like a boulder, and he's like, dude, you lost to a clone. And he punches the clone, and it turns into pulp. And he's like, this thing's made out of like literal smoke. And then he's like, damn it. So, Monoma's now very depressed. And yeah. The next day, they train their quirks. Izuku right now is reading something a bit new. So I'm saying that yeah. And never mind, he's just training to use his chakra longer and some other stuff like KCM2. He's furthering his connection with who's it called? Damn it. Furthering his connection with Kurama, and Mito's teaching him a few more jutsus, and yeah. Also, if I tell you guys, Deku's hair has been turning now it's just green hair with a lot of yellow, because the more his bond with Minato comes in, the more yellow hair he has. At the end of this, he's gonna have yellow hair with green hair at the tips. So yeah. And yeah, nothing really else to talk about that. So they practice. Then on the final night, the villain attack comes in. As soon as this comes in, Aizawa warns everyone, and Deku immediately goes to get Koda, because I'm gonna say he puts a flying mark on Koda, right? So he teleports there to see a man readying up a punch, and he blocks the punch with enhancing his hand with chakra, and he says, "Dude, bullying a kid," and he's like, "You have a nice cloak. Why don't you give it? Why don't you trade it for mine?" Because I'm gonna say that Deku was wearing his the cloak that Minato wears in the screen right now. Yeah, that cloak. So right now he's wearing that, and yeah, Deku ends this quickly. Alright, as Muscular is getting his muscle fibers ready for his final attack, Deku just uses a fireball jutsu, burns his muscles, and he passes out. He grabs Muscular and Koda and teleports them all the way back to Mandalay. And I'm gonna say that Mandalay informs everyone that Bakugo was the target because Muscular told them. So yeah. Uraraka still gets attacked. Orakia gets attacked, but this time Melissa's there too, so they attack Toga. She already gets away, but she gets away bruised and scattered. Yeah. Deku runs back in. He teleports to Bakugo, and there is Tokuyami, who's currently rampaging. Deku decides to use Yin. Like, I'm pretty sure Yin is light and Yang is dark, so yeah. He uses Yin style, and he creates, Yin release, and that creates some light. So Dark Shadow retreats. Compressed still gets Tokuyami and Bakugo. But before they could leave, Deku places a flying Raijin mark on Compressed, and he also threw a flying Raijin kunai into the portal as they were about to leave. So the tracker wasn't really needed. The same plan, like everyone's there, Bakugo's still captured, and Tokuyami is free. Deku still goes on to go. Lita finds out about this. This time, instead of Deku taking the punch to heart, he blocks and he says, "Yes, I know, but we still have to go." So he ends up with the same team, but instead of him, instead of them walking there, they go in disguises and they just, teleport because it's easier that way. So they don't really need Momo's tracker. They teleport, and yeah, they go there to see Shigaraki. They go like they're behind a wall. They hear Shigaraki trying to get Bakugo onto their side. Bakugo is refusing, so they just put him to the side. This is when the teachers come in, and they All Might busts in saying pizza delivery, and he attacks them. He technically bodies most of the League of Villains until All For One comes in with his intimidating aura. As soon as Deku senses all of this bloodlust, right, he grabs everyone, including Bakugo, and he just teleports all the farthest marker he has, because Deku's never felt so much bloodlust in his life. Right now, like Minato's own, the only presence that Minato is talking about to Deku, saying that I won't been this much bloodlust from someone named Madara Uchiha. So yeah. Everyone's like they're afraid. Akugo's like, damn, no, let me get back in there. And then Deku's like, it's too dangerous. So, he teleports back, and he goes there to see All Might about to use the United States of Smash. This time, All For One's gonna have a quirk that, reflects. Yeah, a quirk that reflects. What's it called? Yeah, a quirk that reflects quirks right back at them. The cooldown on it is like 24 hours. So yeah, he does this, and the attack goes right back to the opponent. But the downside is that it's not really that strong. Like, the damage is cut into like what 1/10. So he still feels it, and as soon as this happens, Deku goes over. He heals All Might more. I'm pretty sure I said All Might tune was like 45%. So he heals it up to 50. So yeah, he heals him, and then he teleports All For One back. All Might to the hospital. He tells him to take care of him, and he goes back. As soon as he goes back, he instinctively, like not on purpose, he instinctively activates Sage Mode and Kurama 9, like KCM2. And right now he's fighting All For One. All For One can't really steal his quirk because it's chopper, it's not really a quirk. So yeah, they're fighting, and All for One charges up the big attack that he did before, but this time I think it like 2 or 3 times bigger because right now All for One actually was prepared to fight All Might. So yeah. So All for One charges up that attack. And Deku like so that's how you wanna play it. One last move. Deku then does Yin Yang Lightning Release Razan Dori. So yeah. Those attacks both collide. Deku defeats All for One barely because I'm gonna, debuff KCM because this is only gonna be like a part of Kurama's chakra. So, it can't really be as strong as the actual KCM. So yeah. Because he doesn't have the full Nine Tails, he only has like a part of the Yin Nine Tails. So yeah. He barely defeats All for One. Everyone praises him. And police can't really arrest him because if they did, then the backlash would technically destroy the police force. So yeah, he's home free, guys. Deku is right now in the hospital recovering because he's very exhausted because of how much chakra he used. And yeah. That pretty much sums up the the training camp and the All for One fight. What the heck? I got more time, so why not? So they go back to school to meet All Might, teaching them special moves. Deku doesn't really need a special move because he has a lot of them. So yeah. Then after, they then meet the big three. Mirio challenges all of them. He defeats all of them. Then he challenges Deku last, or Izuku last. So they're fighting, and Deku can't really land a clean hit. So he decides that he's gonna use something. He uses Sage Mode to sense where Mirio's going. So when he's sorry, I gotta go. So sorry for the random cut. My mom called me to go make my brother a nighttime drink and PJs because right now, if you guys don't know, it's like 9? So yeah. Let's get back into the story. So yeah, Mirio leaves Deku for last, and Deku realizes that he can't really hit Mirio with normal attacks, so he decides to enter Sage Mode. And when he does this, he can sense Mirio coming up. So as soon as Mirio comes up again, Deku launches an attack. It goes right through Mirio, but Mirio still gets pushed back. This is because of the Sage energy surrounding Deku. And they know that he's using Sage Mode because, there's orange lines around his eyes, and his pupils are whatever Sage Mode eyes look like. So yeah, they know. So this keeps on going until Mirio decides to use a special move, the one that I'm pretty sure he used on the others. And Deku's getting hit by all of this. But, as soon as Mirio tries to land his final attack, Deku catches us and he pushes lightning, chakra through Mirio. But this chakra has, lightning nature inside of it. So, it shocks Mirio and he's on the ground. They ask what Deku's quirk is. Deku just says that he doesn't really have a quirk, it's chakra. And yeah, so that happens, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and peace out. Sorry for this video coming out so late. I already had a pre-record. It's just that I was, being lazy again. And the pictures here right now is for a new What If, and yeah.